So, it begins. 26% on Rotten Tomatoes, man. 26%. What the hell is going on over here? So amidst all the hate and criticism, with DC fans going batshit crazy over bad reviews, I managed to pull myself together, watch this movie, and form an opinion for myself. And yes, you guessed it right, it is time for the review of DC's Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad was directed by David Ayer, produced by DC Entertainment, and distributed by Warner Bros. Pictures. It had an estimated budget of around $175 million. So what's the movie about? You have a bunch of criminals who are the worst of the worst. You have Amanda Waller, played by Viola Davis, who teams them all up together to fight a thing that's about to destroy a story, or a city. Now we'll get to the critics in a little bit, but did I personally enjoy Suicide Squad? I don't know. And this is always the case with every release that DC has come up with. It's never black and white. I personally loved the squad, the team, not the movie, but the squad, the characters in the squad. The dynamic between the actual characters in the squad was pretty good in my opinion. But as a movie, there were some parts which I was really into. There were parts which wasn't really working for me. And also there were parts which I really did not like. But first, the positives, and Will Smith as Deadshot was amazing. As Deadshot, Will Smith was subtle, delivered his lines very well, and had the best action scene in the entire movie. He, along with Margot Robbie, carried this movie on their backs. And speaking of that, Harley Quinn, played by Margot Robbie, was another character that worked really well in this movie. She was such an integral part of this movie, and Margot Robbie's performance was really top-notch. Harley Quinn's character was taken straight out of the animated series and the comic books, and this was a very faithful adaptation of the character. And I have started believing in miracles because they actually made Jai Courtney work as Captain Boomerang. Huh, who would have thought? And El Diablo, played by Jay Hernandez, despite being a really stereotypical depiction of Latinos, did a pretty good job as well. Although at times trying very hard, I think he made this role his own, and I kind of liked him. Meanwhile, Rick Flag and Katana were also okay. They really didn't have much to do, but they played their parts in making this movie feel like an actual comic book movie. And on that note, we come to the things that I did not like in this movie. Yes, this was the quintessential comic book movie. They just splashed pages from the books onto the screen. And while I, along with a lot of other fans, like this, it must be understood that this doesn't necessarily work as a good movie per se. While I enjoyed it, I think the time has come for comic book fans to realize that comic books and movies are completely different mediums. And what works in a comic book doesn't necessarily work in a movie. Yes, we cheer and we shout when we see our favorite characters and our favorite moments from the books on the big screen. And I think the time has come for comic book fans to hold these movies and these movie makers to a much higher standard. It must be said that the editing and the narrative in this movie was really bad in many places. It was so, chippy choppy everywhere, and everyone could see that those reshoots really took their toll on this movie. And another thing which I had a problem with was the Joker, Jared Leto's Joker. I don't know, it was really weird. Yes, the Joker is supposed to be weird, but the Joker is an entity, and whenever the Joker comes into a room, there needs to be a presence in the room. He doesn't just come to a party, he is the party. And I just didn't get that with this Joker. He wasn't bad. It was really good acting, but I don't know, I just didn't get into this character that much. But maybe some people like me need a little bit more time to really appreciate this new Joker, and hopefully I do. But let's see. Having said that, however, do I think it's a really bad movie? Do I think that it deserves the 26% rating on Rotten Tomatoes? No, not by a long shot. That is really unfair. Despite me having a lot of problems with this movie, it must be understood that this is a very difficult franchise to make a movie out of. And you can see that the producers and the directors of this movie really tried hard. So I am personally very excited for the future of the DC Universe. I'm excited how the Suicide Squad proceeds. So despite having its fair share of problems, I think Suicide Squad is a good watch. It's an entertaining watch. And maybe you should watch it more than once to form a, better opinion. There was so much hype, and I was so excited for this, and it wasn't disappointing per se, but it was kind of deflating. I mean, one moment you're so excited in this movie, and the other moment you're deflated, and it just took out a lot from me. I really wanted to like this movie, and I kind of do in some places, but then the narration, the editing, the way some of the characters were treated, those parts were disappointing. However, having said that, if you haven't watched this movie, please do go and watch it, because despite its problems, it's an entertaining, fun movie. This was supposed to be the Guardians of the Galaxy for DC. It wasn't, not by a long shot, no, it wasn't, but it's still pretty fun. You know what I just realized? I just realized that this is a very uninformative review. Maybe I need to watch this movie a couple of more times, because I feel really weird right now. I really don't know how to feel about this. I know I liked some parts, I didn't like some parts, but was it a good movie? I think so, and a part of me says no, it wasn't. So I don't know. So maybe you guys can help me out. Let me know what you thought about this movie in the comments below or on my Facebook page. And as always, if you want to see more content, please do like this video and subscribe to this channel. And until next time, I will see ya!